more mature, and holy kids, which is a blessing for parents, by the way. And America gets smarter, wiser, more mature, and holy adults who can lead the country in a new and positive and godly direction in the future. And there's one more benefit we get as this movement gets bigger by the day. We get closer to reaching a critical mass that leads to the implosion of the current government-directed, neo-pagan, secular humanist, man-centered system that is failing taxpayers, parents, students, and our country so thoroughly. There are now somewhere between 3 and 5 million American children involved in home education now. It won't be long before this growing movement topples the evil education system we have in this country. And frankly, there is nothing we can do to redeem the system, nor should we try. The Soviet Union, the evil empire, as Ronald Reagan accurately called it, imploded about 15 years ago because a small minority of Soviet subjects simply said, "Niet." They simply said no. They simply refused to cooperate with the system. They got tired of the abuse. They got tired of the failure. They got tired of the indoctrination and watched it fall. I believe America's corrupt, pseudo-educational system can and should be toppled in the same way, with Christian parents this time simply saying, "No more. Not with my kids, you don't." Yes, protecting our kids from evil influences is a very appropriate example of the kind of biblical separation we are supposed to follow as believers. I've heard some Christian parents suggest their kids are enrolled in these institutions where another religion is being taught. The religion of secular humanism, the religion of neo-paganism, the religion of Nimrod, because they expect their kids to be a good influence and to evangelize their friends. Let me tell you something. More kids from Christian homes are being evangelized into secular humanism and neo-paganism in those schools than vice versa. Let's face it, kindergartners are simply not equipped for this assignment. We got to protect our kids from these influences. We've got to protect them from the gangs and violence and the drugs and the evil, insidious effects of our popular culture. We shouldn't subject them to the kind of abuse they're forced to endure. The American educational system is badly broken. I hope I don't offend anyone here when I say this, but there is simply no excuse for exposing our kids to it anymore. It's irresponsible, it's unbiblical, and pardon me, it is sinful. They are not going to learn about Jesus there. And if they are not learning about Jesus, they are being taught the spirit of the Antichrist, the spirit of Nimrod. They're being taught to weep for Tammuz. Think about this. Most of the people who survived the flood were still alive when the great rebellion by Nimrod began. It only takes one generation, as we've seen through countless biblical examples, to lose the truth. Our schools today are teaching that man is a product of evolutionary chance. They are teaching perverse sexual practices. They are prohibiting prayer. They are teaching that violence is an acceptable solution to the problem of unwanted pregnancies. They are promoting situational ethics, values clarification, alternative lifestyles, self-actualization. They are teaching neo-paganism. They are teaching the religion of Nimrod. Now, in conclusion, I want to urge every believer here today to do everything within your power to use your churches and your tithes and your organizations to help create viable Christian educational institutions that can be a real alternative for families, be it in the form of homeschool co-ops or formal Christian schools committed to solid biblical principles. Because there's a revolution underway. And when I started researching this book, Taking America Back, it was really a tough one for me because this book came out of constant questions that I got every single day in the process of being editor of WorldNet Daily. And the typical question was something along these lines. Okay, Farah, you've told us about this problem and that problem. What about the solutions? And as a newsman, that's not my job. I was tempted to just say that, but instead what I thought I would do with my book, Taking America Back, was to take a stab at finding those solutions. And what I found, I looked for models of social movements that were successful in the past and social movements that were underway today. And what I found is there was already a revolution in process, and that is the homeschool revolution. And it's time, as I say in the book, to pour gasoline on that brush fire and just watch what happens. That's how we're going to take America back, in my view. I don't know how much time we have left. When I see those pictures of the European Union building and the poster, I think it can't be very long before Nimrod 2 comes along. But I know beyond any shadow of a doubt that this is the work that he would have us do, however much time it is that we have before his return. And I want to thank you very much, and God bless you all.